the selfie cam. All right, this is me. I'm gonna try and get this done in 20 minutes. Okay, this is all the stuff. It starts with CD player, Ollie's electrocution, my first head injury, Tim and I get down with tools, Kununurra slideshow, Oma and Orpa's 40th, getting to Kununurra, at school I'm. Miss LePage hated me though. Audrey was 93, her husband was 97. Apocalyptic Christianity, the Churchmance, the turtle that I nearly starved to death, Alstonville, I am all alone in this, learning to play the trumpet with the school band. If I weren't just a lion, my mother probably would have eaten me. Apocalyptic Christianity too. Bread run, weed and masturbation. Weed and rage and girls. Maturity for me means you will be all alone in this. Okay. I don't want to seem too resentful. Okay. I don't want to seem too. Okay. Still on. All right. So yeah. All right. I feel pretty lucky all the time. Uh, uh. Okay. Anyway. So like where to begin, right? Probably like a pretty relevant early memory is like when I was a little kid, my little brother put a fork into a power outlet and nearly died, probably. And then at about the same sort of time, because I was about 3 to 4 years old around then, I think. At about that same time, I was tripped by my brother and his friend, and I knocked my head against a fucking very hard wooden table, right? And it, like got a scar on the top of my head, right? But obviously, the most relevant memory is the fact that when I was also about that age, my dad bought a fucking CD player, right? And he bought a few CDs for us. There was like one that he bought for the kids, which was like some dude that like played chopsticks, like that guy. And then there was They Might Be Giants Flood. He bought that album, right? And I have a very relevant memory of being an absolute shithead one time and like having an argument with Ollie about what I wanted to listen to. He wanted to listen to the Chopsticks guy. I wanted to listen to Birdhouse in Your Soul, but I couldn't explain myself when I was that old, and I was just screaming. I didn't calm down until Mum put on They Might Be Giants, because she didn't expect that I would like that. Because nearly no one fucking likes that music, you know? You put it on now, and they're like, fuck you, you cunt, you know? Why are you playing that? That sort of shit, you know? It just infuriates people constantly. This nerd music. Anyway, then another more relevant memory about that time is like, I had like, a cousin about the same age as me, and like, I didn't remember this till years and years later when he reminded me about it. But like, there was this time just before we left to move to Kununurra that me and him nearly killed each other playing with like garden tools, like mattocks and rakes and shit. And then I have this memory of like mum and dad did like a fact finding mission, they call it, when to go to Kununurra and check it out and see if they actually wanted to do it, to try it out. I remember seeing the slideshow and being pretty excited, I think. And then anyway, then we moved to Kununurra, and like Kununurra, like I started in Melbourne, obviously. I was born in Melbourne. And then I moved to Kununurra, and on the way we stopped at like the Coolangatta, which is basically the Gold Coast. It's like there's Tweed Heads, Coolangatta,
Gold Coast. It's like this fucking shit pile of horrible shit. You know, at this on the border on the coast between New South Wales and Queensland in Australia, right? So we stopped there for my mum's parents' 40th wedding anniversary, and then from there, right across the country, through the Australian desert, in 5 days in a crazy old vehicle. Like, and I liked this stuff. I liked going to Kununurra. I liked living there. I remember when we got out of the car finally at this first place that we lived there. Well, yeah, because like we just drove, just driving and driving and driving. You know, we dragging a camper van with us, drove out to this place, and it was like and like Dad was gonna be working for this sort of church thing and building a like sort of setting up like a banana farm and stuff. And I remember getting out of the car anyway, and like it's the desert tropics, right? It's dry. It's a different place to Melbourne. I was pretty upset on the way, but then it sort of started to dawn on me that it was kind of amazing. The rocky outcrop, like because there's not things like lawn in a place like that, you know. It's sandy. It's dry. There's ants. It's a different thing. It's a different place. And then and like that's when I started my first year of school. So like that's you know, there's like this old lady who taught us how to read, I think. And like the first lesson, the first thing we learned on the first day was the word I'm, you know, I with a contraction, M with an apostrophe, right? The contraction I am. I've forgotten all the grammar since then. I'm just, you know, the schizophrenia really fucking, you know, drilled its fucking horrible shit into me instantly, okay? I don't remember that teacher's name. My second year of school, I had this teacher named Miss LePage, and she did not like me, and I didn't like her very much either, I guess. I remember, like, it just seemed so, like, I don't know what it was, but I guess maybe like the teacher in the previous year liked me a bit more, and I was like, she just didn't. She was like, this little kid, got to get out. He's too snotty and gross, you know. And I guess I could feel this sort of tension, and I whispered to some kid while she was like leading us out to learn some stuff. I whispered to this kid, "Miss LePage is a fuckwit or something, or a cunt, or I don't know. I said that Miss LePage is a fuckhead." And then she's like, and then the kid just instantly ratted me out. Fair enough, you know. I would have liked Miss LePage to like me more as well. and and she's like, "What did you call? Why did you do that? And what did you say to me?" And I said, I lied. I said Miss LePage is a thickhead. I don't know what was I thinking, you know. And then you know, I was you know, oh yeah. Um, um, Then I don't have to tell anyone this stuff. Oh, okay. Then the next year, I had another teacher. I can't remember her name. I just think of her. I just call her Audrey. And I remember Audrey. But her husband was like the principal of the primary school as well. Like sat in the office and did paperwork, I guess, or taught at a different class as well in like a higher grade. And they sat us all down and said, like, you know, guess what, kids? I'm 93 years old, and my husband, he's 97 years old. I mean, like, anyway, the reason why I was down for like believing this sort of thing is because the family were fundamentalist Christians. Okay, have you ever read Genesis? I mean, it's not unreasonable to get to 93 years old and look that good. Probably not at all, I would think. But she was really nice to me. And also, that year I had it. That first day, there was this kid in school, and I don't know, I just remember we were joking around a bunch, and we both got sent out that day. But then he just left, and he went to a different school. But I was friends with him for that whole year. And to be honest, like, it wasn't ever. And then, but it was really hard to live there. So we moved to Olsenville. You know, I don't know, like, nothing isn't difficult. Like, everything means so much, you know? Especially if you're lucky. But I was always having a pretty tough time, you know? I was having, like, everyone was having a tough time. It was really hard. Anyway, I'm gonna skip past the apocalyptic Christianity and go. So, yeah, like, before we left Connemara, like, someone brought me a turtle. Like, here, go have a turtle. Oh, yeah. And I nearly killed the turtle because, I don't know, the turtle just. Obviously, the turtle wants to live in the river, swim away from crocodiles and shit. Doesn't want to live in a fucking bath. I remember, like, putting the turtle back in the creek. I remember just swimming away, just was out of there. Couldn't wait to get out, get away from Then, it's, technically there's the turtle that I nearly killed again. Because when we moved to Austinville, there's like a creek just down from where we lived. I used to go to the creek all the time. Hang out on like this branch of a tree. I remember one day I was looking at the looking into the creek, this nice clear water, nice shallow clear water, and I noticed that there was like a little baby turtle, a little bit like this big. It was like, I think it could fit in the palm of my little 8-year-old hand, you know. And I reached in, I grabbed the turtle. I was like, whoa, I loved that turtle, but I let that turtle. I don't know. I can't remember what happened to that turtle. And then Austinville was pretty hard, I'm not like I wasn't smart then, you know. I was gonna put one called "Let's Go Swimming." All right, so yeah, you get laughed at in the change rooms when you go swimming. It's a very creepy experience. It is an eternally creepy experience. And I don't want to bring it up too much. 8 years old, haha. Anyway, yeah. So like you're alone, Like I remember going to like we used to have this like news, like every day we get to tell news, talk about the news, not the news, but talk about something, show and tell sort of stuff. I didn't have many like I didn't have I had some cool stuff. I mean, I had there was a crocodile skull that we brought back from Katanara. I probably brought that fucking turtle in. I brought my baby. Anyway, this is the same sort of thing. It's a Monday. I'm telling you about myself. Um, I don't know if I really had friends. I don't know. I did. I think. But I also think, I mean, like, all my friends are just putting up with me, Everyone just, like, sort of deals with it quietly. I learned to play the trumpet, sort of, not very well. I was never good at it. But I remember that there, like, in the trumpet section in the school orchestra, there was this dark hierarchy, Like, it was horrible, man. Like, that they weren't, there was, like, that kind of, like, it was very drills, sort of very scouty, like what is it? Drills? I don't know, just bullyish. I thought sucks. Like if you really actually want to learn to play the trumpet, one of those things that pisses everyone off. Everyone is always pissed off that you are playing the trumpet wherever you are. It is a loud instrument to play. It's hard to learn to play quietly. I was not good at it. And then if I were just like a lion, my mother probably would have eaten me. You know, like, because lionesses, you know, if like stuff is getting pretty hard, like, you know, they kill the cubs. You know, or like if someone gets in there, they'll fucking kill the. You know, somebody comes along. I don't know. Apocalyptic Christianity too. All right. Yeah, so that's like, you know, we still went to church when we moved to Alstonville, and then we sort of transitioned from not going to church to dad driving a bread truck and doing a bread run early in the morning, and that was very disruptive to the family, I guess. And but yeah, like just around that time, I remember me and my sister and my dad. I don't know why I sat down and watched this shit, but it was like one of those, you know, fucking end of the world type documentaries, like the sort of shit that's like on this Discovery Channel all the fucking time. You know, I mean, if you use the internet, you can watch that shit all fucking day. You know, oh, the world's gonna end. It's getting pretty fucking bad. That sort of stuff, right? And that just and like I remember my dad and my sister being like, "Yeah, it's probably gonna be fine." You know, it's probably you know, how do they know what's gonna go down? You know, who are these people anyway? You know, and I was like, "Well, who the fuck are you?" You know, of course. And then like I was just like plagued by like visions and delusions of like you know, basically Rosetta Stoned by fucking Tool for like all like until I started masturbating. Started smoking weed and masturbating, which when I was about 14. And then weed and raging girls. Maturity means for me, you will be all alone in this. As in me, you know. You don't have to be alone. And you're not alone. And anyway, it just starts to get more and more and more and more difficult to explain after that.